Yo everybody, welcome back to another art hour this Saturday. Like always, we are doing this live, so if you want to join me in the chat, it's to the right here, and you can just type in your nickname where it says your message, and you can be a part of it. You can ask me stuff, how I draw stuff, if you need any tips, or if you need help or want me to, look over your drawings or something like that. If you just want to chat, you can ask me questions and stuff like that. If you're watching this on YouTube, we do this live at picardo.tv/Ebbe Waxin, and you can join us as well. I do this from 6 to 7 Swedish time. So let's kick it off. Here I have a head I actually did earlier today. I'm kinda satisfied with it, but it's just the first sketch, so I will have to practice to get it to become kinda second nature to me. But what I want to do with it is I want to do it as a kind of magic character. So I'm trying to figure out if the character should do like, hand signs and stuff like that, the Naruto style kind of magic, or if it's supposed to be spells or, like magic circles and everything like that. So I'm trying to think how it will best be done. As you can see, I am drawing in blue. And that's because when you draw in blue, you can always later on just do the black inks on top of it, because it's easier to see the black inks later on. So I'm trying to figure out how, because I did very big eyes at the initial sketch, but I'm trying to see where his face would be if I did it, kind of like a little bit tilted and more a bit to the side. I also have to kind of figure out how his jawline is gonna be made. How round it should be and how not round it should be, because I haven't done the neck or anything. I'm just doing the head right now. I haven't even decided on clothes, so this is going to be kind of tricky. But it's the stuff I do when I try to do characters. I will try and do perhaps, kind of like, this guy for a while. Then I am going to try and do another character, or just sketch something else, so we don't get too stuck on this guy. I'm gonna draw him a little bit closer here, and I'm gonna do a little bit bigger so we can get kind of same properties here. And I'm gonna go with the angry eyebrows. Angry eyebrows are always kind of easier for me. I don't know why. Anywho, what have you guys been doing? Have you been doing well? Are you drawing something? Are you having fun with drawing, or have you learned something new, perhaps? Let me know in the chat. Me, I've been kind of sick these past days, or not totally sick, but kind of down, not full capacity. So I've been trying to get some inspiration, trying to decide what I want to do with me art styles and stuff like that. I've also been watching some magic anime, which sounds kind of like I've been watching, the cutesy kind of anime show, but that's not what I'm saying. I am saying that I have been watching some shows that I think are cool in the way it handles magic. What was that one I saw recently? I saw it, Tokyo Ravens, which was kind of slow in the first kind of 10, 12 episodes. There were some kind of good stuff about it, but yeah, it was kind of slow. But at the end, they kind of ramped it up really fast, and it was kind of awesome. So I got some good ideas from there, because I'm trying to do this character as a kind of magic user, so I don't want him to be like, not. I don't want it to be kind of like just one kind of magic. It's kind of being different kinds of magic. Kind of like you have talismans, you have the hand signs, you have the magic circles, and perhaps some powers, within the character itself. And I think I'm gonna move down the air here, because I want them to be kind of like that. For those who are wondering what program, this software I'm using, it's Clip Studio Paint Pro, or it's just the digital version of Manga Studio 5. It's not the EX version, but you only need the EX version for, the very high-end purposes, which I don't need. Let's see, am I gonna do his smile here? Yeah, I'm gonna do his. And I also want this character to be kind of like in your face. He kind of knows how good he is, so he's pretty much in terms of magic. He's kind of like the brute. Like if it was a fighting comic, he would be kind of like. He would be kind of like the brute, but since it's a magic comic, he's gonna be the kind of magic brute. He knows he is good. He knows his strength, but I also want that to be his kind of weakness. That his self-confidence is kind of like a danger to himself. And as usual, these are just things that I'm trying out right now, because, well, I've been trying these past days or past weeks, trying to find myself. There's been a lot of stuff, personal stuff that's been kind of clamping me down and making me look at stuff differently. So this is one of those things. I kind of have to find myself again and trying to revitalize my joy for drawing. So yeah, I'm trying to find what I want to draw, and I want to have fun drawing it. So that's the main issue. Let's see here. Is there anyone actually watching? I've been doing this a couple of times now. I don't know if anybody's watching or if it's just me talking into the air. Because if there is no one asking, there is no point in me live streaming. So we will see. I will do this time and perhaps another time. But if the next time there aren't any people watching the live stream, I am probably not gonna keep doing it, because there's no point in me doing this if I'm only talking to myself. So keep that in mind. If you want to talk and get help from me, please consider to either watch this live stream or ask me questions later on in the YouTube space. Because right now I have to kind of, manage my energy. If you want me to keep doing this, please let me know, because otherwise I'm just gonna focus my energy elsewhere. I know this isn't perhaps kind of what people are wanting. They probably want some tutorials and stuff like that, but tutorials takes a lot of time, and it's kind of hard to do because I don't know all the where people are, skill wise. Some people don't even use computers, so that becomes also a different, because I am pretty much right now just doing digital work. I am not going back to a analog kind of situation, because to me there is so much more to be done with the digital format than the pen and all that, because pens cost money and everything else just costs money, and I mean, I'm not complaining about the analog way to do it. I'm just saying that's not the way I do my things. So let's see, I haven't decided on his sideburns. Maybe I should just have... Yeah. So I have to learn this hairstyle, because it's actually something I haven't tried before to draw. So I'm kind of new to it. And it's kind of pointy. That's the main thing about it. Let's see, and we have... Nope, that was too high. Maybe it's somewhere around there. And this is kind of one of the things I don't like when I do a new character. I always get like, oh, this looks good, and then I have to do it again, and I can't do it, and it kind of gets me mad. Let's see, I'm gonna make his eyes a little bit darker, so he's gonna be kind of looking like a villain, but he's not the villain, but he's supposed to look like it, to get that anger. Kind of need to put more emphasis on the sides, I can see already. Let's see if I go a little bit more to the sides so they really pop out. Let's see if I go there and a little bit more, something like that, yeah. But this is the process of me finding out how to create a character. I just try stuff. Sometimes I fail miserably, and then it's time to... And also try to do... I also try to do stuff that I'm not used to, because sometimes that is actually what works, instead of, oh, I like this is cool, but it doesn't work because either my art style isn't right for it, or maybe it's just because when I draw it, it doesn't look as cool as when other people draw it. So sometimes you have to give up on some certain ideas and try something else. Maybe you will find that you really like the other idea better. But I kind of like this look this kid has. I was also trying to figure out if I wanted to color it, but I really like the black and white inked comics. And I also like the manga style, where it's like, almost no color at all. There are the grays and stuff like that, but yeah, there's something with but it's also a tricky situation, because you have to kind of fill out. As you can see here, what I've tried to do here with the character is I'm trying to leave very little spaces. Little space where he can actually have stuff, so it doesn't become too empty on the face and drawing, because the more like this, I'm gonna wrong layer. I'm gonna try actually to elevate this a little bit more so he doesn't have a big forehead, and I'm gonna push that up a little bit more like this, so he actually becomes the chin becomes actually quite big here. But I am also going to close that off a little bit more, so there aren't many big spaces in the face, because the more space, the more kind of, well, it depends on how you draw it, but for me, most of the times when I draw stuff, it becomes like I don't feel the life or energy from the characters. I don't feel their personality. And I've been reading some great mangas, some mangas that I don't even think have been, published in Western countries. I always go to like Manga Fox or Manga Reader and stuff like that to find certain types of manga. But what I'm looking for in the mangas isn't always the story. The story could always be good, but the artwork has to pull me in. They have to make me feel interested even in the mundane characters. That's the thing for me, because a story can always be kind of simple. It can be kind of the typical hero story, slash Naruto. It can be the theme, like magic or ninjas or martial arts. It can always be kind of like a theme or a simple story. But if the characters are not interesting, if the characters are kind of dull drawn and not, interesting, even if they are dull and, mundane characters, if you can draw them that the eye catches you, and watching even these mundane characters, that's what I want to become. That's what I want to be, where I want to be in terms of drawing. I want even the slightest character that isn't kind of like, interesting, I want that character to even have a interesting look. And one of the points where I found that out is one manga I'm actually reading right now, which I can recommend to you all. It's available on Manga Fox. It's called Boku no Hero Academia. It starts out kind of simple. The weak guy who wants to be a hero. He gets the hero mentor and all that. But as more as I read, I really liked the art style. I really, really liked the intensity in the art style. So I really recommend it, because it's something that inspired me to look over my drawings. And I also am reading right now, let's see, Rumble. I'll see if I can find because I know the guy. I'm not know the guy, but I'm following the guy who does the artwork for it. Let's see here. I'm gonna pop one open here. So Rumble is kind of like a fantasy kind of revenge story. Let's see here. I'm gonna go click there. Let's hope that button press didn't do anything. Yeah, okay. James Herron, his name is. Yes, James Herron. He and Dave Stewart created this comic, which is pretty much kind of like it's gods in their world. And there's one guy who is like fighting and loses, and he then oh my god, it's a very complicated story, but it's very awesome, because it's kind of like in our presence, but way before that, or in another realm, there is like the gods fighting it out, and he kind of loses and has to reclaim his body. He's now in a scarecrow kind of body, and he encounters these humans who help him, or tries to help him, to both regain his body and to kind of find themselves within these stories. So even those, I love that he draws it. Actually, he is one of those who draws it analog, because he draws it on paper and uses, old stuff like ink nibs and stuff like that. He's not using like, simple inks or markers. He's using the very old school tools, and he's doing it in a kind of manga style, which is kind of awesome. So yeah, Rumble and Boku no Hero Academia, two things that in these past days has actually made me, revisit the styles of my own. I always want to improve, because usually what I hear from everybody is like, oh, you're doing great, you're so awesome, and blah 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 blah. But I still feel that there is much in my drawings that still needs, to be better. I need to refine it. I need to improve. I need to see other stuff that I'm lacking. I'm lacking in a lot of bits, and I'm aware of this, but it's kind of hard to not, doubt yourself, because that is one of the things that artists usually, do. We doubt ourselves because sometimes we only have people who say yes and doesn't say what is wrong or what is good. And since I'm in Sweden, I'm a Swedish drawer, there isn't much of a culture, I would say, for comic making. We have painters, we have illustrators, we have those kind of stuff, but usually there isn't a big like, oh, this is a Swedish comic, or oh, this is a Swedish artist and stuff like that. We have some people who may have transferred to, the States and stuff like that. And some people, we try to do the, oh, but I'm a manga artist. Yeah, if you just copy other people's style, I'm personally on the side of manga is not something that is a style. It's something that embodies the Japanese culture and how they tell stories. But, people take stuff and they just do whatever they want with it, so what the hell. So, yeah. Let's see here. I'm a little bit... I'm wondering how I should do, because this is my nose when he's faced forward. So I'm kind of wondering if I should do perhaps something like this, just to keep it easier to the reader to know that it's the same nose. But yeah, I think I will do something like that, just to make it easier to see that it's the same nose. Now, I know there are some differences here, but like I said, I'm trying to learn here. The character. So let's see. If we have the guy character here, I am going to try and make... Because this is also one of my big flaws. It's that I can do a great character in a style, and it's usually either a girl or a guy. But when I'm trying to do a guy or a girl in the same style, it kind of either it falls apart or it becomes just looking like crap. So let's use the same building blocks. Let's see. No, we're gonna do it like this. I'm gonna take the front, because the front is for me somehow easier to do than the side. So let's use the side, the front guy here to do the same kind of thing. So I always start with a circle. That's my main bit of the skull. Now, since I'm doing a female, and the idea I have in my head is that he's the guy who is the brute. He's being looked down upon by all the other magicians. So this girl is supposed to be kind of the ace at the school, or ace at magic. So she's kind of like, the I'm the best. There's no one. How can you become blah blah blah? You know, that kind of stereotypical character. But as well, she's gonna be, you know, like he's actually good. She's gonna, you know, uh, acknowledge his power. So I want her to have a little bit smaller. As you can see, he's gonna be kind of thick-headed, and she's gonna be a little bit more, you know, smaller. She's gonna be the kind of beauty, you know. So it's gonna, because I want to do some sort of that she's, well, this is kind of based on reality, that the pretty girl is always gonna be the pretty girl, and no matter what, the kind of well, less attractive guy or girl is not gonna, you know, get. That's the real version of it. But you know, in comics and mangas, they always have the, you know, the pretty ones, you know, acknowledge the character from inside, which is, you know, how it's supposed to be. But you know, in real life, that's not how it goes. So I'm kind of, you know, I don't know if I want to do the, you know, romantic usual story where she falls for him and all that kind of stuff, because I'm kind of like, when I read stuff like that myself, sure, it feels good to, you know, kind of get some hope that the guy can get the girl, but you know, in real life, that's just not how it is. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. And let's see now, because he has the guy eyes. Let's see how we do. Okay, should we do her angry as well? Dun, 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 dun. This could be. This is probably the problem I'm gonna face here. Let's see. I'm gonna do. Let's do her a little bit. Maybe she's like, I don't care. You're just a small pebble in my way. Let's just have her have that facial expression for now. So maybe she could have like, I don't know. I'm kind of like, you know, just letting the pen do the talking, because I can always think in my head how I want it to look, but in the end, I'm kind of like, you know, letting my hand just go with the flow, what I feel is right. I can't always sometimes explain how or why I draw stuff the way I do, because sometimes it just is me just letting go of the brush. I'm just letting it slide and do whatever it wants. Let's see. No, maybe that's a little bit looking confused. I'm gonna erase the eyebrow because I'm not quite sure. Yeah, let's do her a little bit more evil looking. So let's push that down and have her. Yeah, let's do this. She's kind of like, seriously, this is the guy who's gonna fight me kind of look. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. I'm gonna put on some heavy lines here on the eyes. One of the things I realized a couple days ago is that I was trying for a period there to do kind of, you know, very realistic drawings. I was trying to go, well, kind of Western, kind of like there has to be lines everywhere. And I realized that's not my style. That's not what makes it fun for me to draw. I like to do these kind of faces, the guy's face here, where you can plainly see the emotion, and it's simple lines, but I can do some small details that help me to, you know, draw the character. And I'm gonna make her, nope, she's not gonna smile, she's gonna have like something like that. Yeah, And we're gonna do a more pointy nose for her. I want her to have kind of like something pointy. Mish, mish. Maybe I should move the mouth a little bit so it becomes correct. I want her to have kind of like a pouty, big kind of pouty lip, but I don't want it to be. Let's see, we can do the eyes. And this is also a thing I'm practicing these days, you know, trying to get the intense eyes because I want them to look correctly. Let's see, I'm gonna do that. This is also a thing I've learned quite recently. I'm still learning, you guys. That's why I kind of, you know, when people say, "Yo, you're so good, you know, how can you do that?" And I'm like, I'm still learning a lot, and I haven't, you know, because I haven't gone any schools, I haven't done anything like that. I'm just trying to do what I think looks right and what I think looks good, and I guess that's why I'm more and more reading manga and stuff like that, because they can actually get the great facial expressions that I feel like American comics not always gets. They use kind of, you know, bigger body movement and postures and stuff like that, which is also good. But I don't know, man. I've been reading some Marvel and DC comics that are out now, that are going right now, and they're not that great. I mean, I do like the stuff, but it's not something that I'm like, whoa, this is so good. And then I kind of, you know, stumble into Image and their comic releases recently, and there's Rumble and stuff like that, and they have a lot of good stuff. And what it seems to be a better style right now is something that speaks to me more right now than anything else. So we kind of have our main body here, our face structure for the girl. Yeah, kind of like that. Like I said, maybe not the finished version of her. Oh my gosh, she looks psychopathic. Let's see, maybe we can do the irises a little bit bigger for her. Remember, these are going to be kind of filled in with a darker color, but let's see, what kind of hair should she have? Because I'm thinking, you know, the classic, you know, big wavy kind of hair that, you know, most pretty girls have. They have the long, you know, stylistic hair and stuff like that. However, it's freaking sometimes hard to draw that and make it look good all the time. There are some people who are way better than that at that than me, so I'm not gonna try and do all too much. But let's see, I'm gonna do a new layer actually, because that's one of the perks of doing it digitally. Let's see, so here she has her main hairline. So I pulled up on my other computer a kind of reference sheet I have for a certain type of hairstyles. So I'm just gonna try and do something from that. So let's see, I'm gonna just do here the hairline is, let's see, and then the hair goes a little bit something like this. So now remember, it's always good to have references. If you don't know how to draw something, look it up. Look how other artists are drawing it, and you know, try to mimic and stuff like that. Just don't copy and then like say that it's yours, because you know, that's just bad style, I think. I mean, if people can get away with it, they will. They will. I've seen it a lot of times, and it kind of pisses me off, because, and I also don't like the people drawing from photos, and then everybody's like, oh, you're so talented. Yeah, but the photographer who took the original picture is probably more talented because he's the actual artist. But you know what I mean. And it's fine, it's good if you can do like realistic drawings that looks like the photo, but what happens when you remove the reference sheet? Can you actually do anything on your own, or are you just gonna fall and crumble because you don't have any references? Can you draw something on your own, so to speak? Or are you just copying? So copying is good for, learning and, figuring stuff out. But if you only use that, it's gonna become a crutch pretty quickly. And that's just my opinion, though. So don't take it as like certainty, or like this is how it's supposed to be done. That's just my opinion because I see it so many times, and I see people like copying the Naruto or Bleach kind of style, and then like, yeah, I'm a manga artist. I'm like, no, you just copied someone else's style and claiming it for yourself. That's not really drawing. Even the guys who did that are, referencing other people, but they do it so that it's become their own style. It's quite a difference when you try to make something else. And I know people call my stuff sometimes like, oh, that looks like that, and I'm like, yeah, but everything is based off something else. Even the great ones are, copies of someone else's work or inspired by someone else's work. And kind of not liking the hair too much here. It kind of feels like I could do something more. I want the extreme hair. This doesn't feel extreme enough. Maybe I should give it some more kind of volume, perhaps. As you can see now, I'm just trying stuff out. I'm not being like correct in doing everything here, and I'm not trying to be as well. I'm just trying to figure out what makes the character pop out and what does not. Let's see here. I think this is kind of working. So now I have been chatting a long time about the copy, no copy, kind of blah 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 stuff. As you can see, there is a lot of things you can talk about when it comes to art, because art is one of the few things that is not, judged by right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. Sure, there are things that you may like more than other people's styles, and that's why I'm saying that I don't want to say that, like, the DC and the Marvel things right now is bad, because it's a different style, and I don't know if there is something behind that choice or something like that. It's just that for me, it's not what I'm looking for in a art style. And that's fine. I mean, there are people who likes it, then that's great. For me, I just feel like, no, some things are not working because they don't get either the character, or the style is not right for, the characters. Maybe someone can't do Batman justice, or maybe someone can't do Wolverine the way I imagine it. So, but then again, it's my opinion. Everyone has the right to their own opinion. Remember that. Some people will like what I do, some people will hate what I do. So, it's all fair. It's all, a part of it. We have to accept that not everyone's gonna like what you draw. Maybe some people will hate what you draw, and that's fine as well. Because in the end, the question always becomes, who are you drawing for? Are you drawing for yourself, or are you drawing for someone else? And that's kind of the struggle I had, because I was trying to draw for someone else. I was trying to draw for my Instagram followers. I was trying to draw so that people may like me. But in the end, it's always going to be the same thing. It's going to be, no one likes you because of what you draw. It's because if you draw it with a passion, it will show better what you're trying to do. And also, I mean, if you keep drawing stuff that you don't want to draw, it's gonna become visible pretty quickly that you're not liking what you're drawing, and it becomes stale, and it becomes kind of boorish what you're drawing. So remember that. Draw because it's fun. Draw because you want to draw it. Sure, there are things that people may ask you to draw, and you can say no and you can say yes. Like me, I've been saying no to quite some people now, because I find it that they either don't have the right idea, or maybe that I'm the wrong person for the project or idea itself. So remember that you can always say no. I know it's kind of hard, because sometimes you just want to be accepted, and that's fine. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But sometimes it's actually better if you just don't do it, because in the end, you only got yourself, and that's who you gotta please the most. And that's what I've learned. Well, pretty recently. I should have, remembered it, because in the past, I was always, I was having so much fun drawing stuff, and somewhere on the journey, I kind of lost that and just became kind of like, what do other people like? What do they want me to draw? What can I do to please them? And that's kind of, the wrong way to do it. So remember that you can always fall and stumble, but as long as you know or understand what made you falter, you can always get back on the horse and try again. I'm just trying to do a fat outline here so that the hair kind of pops out and you can see where the actual outline is. I need to practice a little bit more on hair as well, because now as a sketch it looks fine, but when you're trying to ink and you have to be precise and tell the drawing what is actually hair and what is not, it becomes quite more difficult. Yes. So something like that. Yes. As you can see, I have strain of hair kind of popping out from the big chunks of hair and stuff like that, so it could be good to have that. So I kind of like this face. I kind of like it. Kind of looks a little bit bitchy, but maybe that's what I'm supposed to go for in this character. Maybe she's more interesting if she's a little bit more bitchy. Because in the end, what I want to do is draw interesting characters that are fun, characters that have kind of like a personality, even if it is bitchy, even if it is maybe a bad person. It's still way better to do than not drawing bland characters. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why many people like Batman and stuff like that, because he's kind of like, he has many sides to him that you can explore, and many other characters like Superman doesn't have as much depth, but when you can find something interesting in a character, that's when you get the most out of it. and you can explore their feelings and their motives. That's usually what is most interesting, and that's probably why characters like Naruto and stuff like that, why they are so successful, because they are both archetypes of heroes and stuff like that, but also they don't do it for the money or maybe all like that. Sometimes they have more pure reasons for doing what they do, and not like revenge and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of like this face. I need to work on the hair a little bit more, try to figure out how long it's supposed to be. But I feel like it's a good opposite to the guys' hair and style. What I may have to do with her hair is maybe give it a little bit more push on the top so it gets more volume. Right now it feels kind of her hair is kind of flat right about here, so I may have to check that out again. I'm gonna do a little bit more on the eyelashes. I want her to be the archetype of female here, so I'm gonna give her lots and lots of makeup. Or maybe she will become one of those characters that has a much darker background than what we think she has, and we will come to respect her. I don't know. Right now I'm just doing characters that I feel like are fun to draw. Maybe I can create the circumstances and backgrounds later on when you don't have to. It's kind of easier for me to do just characters and then kind of figure out what they are or what they supposed to be doing and stuff like that. But it's all in good fun. So yeah. So now we have 3 faces here. I'm gonna put these together so we can have her on one layer, that guy's head there on one layer. So let's see, let's put these a little bit closer to hers. Let's put them, there we go. And then we're gonna take all 3 of them and just shove them up a little bit there. Now is the question if I should do a side view of her. I think I will do a side view of her because we kind of need to figure out how her hair is supposed to be on the side. So I think I will put this over here actually so I can see the face. I'm gonna make hers a little bit bigger so I can have good quality there. There we go. Let's see, we're gonna push them all a little bit to the left so I can have some room for the 4th face here. There we go. Whoops, there we go. I accidentally. Sometimes I'm too quick for the interface and I will fuck it up. Let's see here. So we have the face there. Let's see, I'm gonna do as usual the circle, and in this case she has a much more rounded face. So let's see. And the ear is gonna be somewhere around there. So when you're sketching, I'm usually not making this my final lines or anything like that. I'm just trying to get the shape right, and this is my way of doing it. I know there's a lot of people saying you should do it like this or should you do it like that. This is my way of doing it. And you all have to find pretty much your own way of doing it, because no one can say that, oh, this is the right way, this is the most efficient way. Sometimes the most insufficient way for someone else is the most sufficient way for you. So remember that no one can tell you that this is wrong or this is right. So let's see, I'm gonna make the skull back there, so the ear becomes inside there. Here we go. And I'm gonna do, are we gonna do the same face perhaps? Yeah, let's do the same face because it will make things easier. So something like this. Yes. Put some heavy makeup on that. As you can see, I'm trying to just do the eyes. I usually do the eyes in the size I think it's gonna be, and I try to make it kind of egg-like, but you know, kind of like the eye I want to have, but they are always up for, you know, changing and modification. As you can see now, I just removed the top half, which is where the eyelids should be, and I'm gonna do the eyebrows next so I can get the right expression, because when I get the right expression I will know how to draw the rest. So we're gonna give, ooh, now we're going too far up. I'm gonna give her that eyebrow here. And sometimes, yes, the eyebrows change because I always do it kind of like black eyebrows, even if they should be kind of you know, lighter or some other different color, because you can always go back and just, okay, this is just the sketch, it's supposed to be just telling me where the eyebrows are. It's not supposed to be kind of like the finished image. And let's see, she's gonna have a more smaller pointer nose as we described in the that one. And here we go. And now they're going to wipe some snow from my street. We have too much goddamn snow right now. Let's see. And I'm gonna make the eyes a little bit smaller here. Let's see. Because I don't want them to be too big. So, like I said before, my sketches are usually just me, you know, trying to dig out the character from a sketch, but sometimes you just have to start drawing, because sometimes I know people who are like, I don't know what to draw and how should I do this. Well, just start, draw something. Sometimes you will hit that obstacle of like, I don't know what to draw, and nothing comes to mind. And you don't have to always do, you know, perfect drawing. Sometimes you just have to practice, and sometimes you just have to, you know, draw silly stuff, or maybe you draw something that actually turns out really good. So, but you have to just draw. That's how you get better, that's how you get practice, that's how you find what you want to draw. That's kind of it. So let's see, she's gonna have that smirk look on her face still. And I'm gonna refine it a little bit. Yeah, now she looks a little bit more like bored. But I kind of like it. Let's see, from this. How I learned to do lips and stuff like that. Oh my god, I actually went years, you know, trying to get the lips to look more natural. And it takes a while to get to the point where you're like, ah, yeah, I'm satisfied with those lips. But it's I've looked at photographs of people who have nice lips. I've looked at how other artists are drawing and just trying to see, where do I like my lips? How do I do my lips? So once again, look at other people's work. look how they do stuff. You know, if you like some kind of stuff, okay, try and emulate and see where you get. Maybe it won't be looking as good as theirs are, but you know, start somewhere and then just keep doing it until you kind of feel like, yeah, that's where I want to be. Let's see, I'm gonna do her hairline. It's gonna become here and there and go something like that. Yes. Now the hair is on the other side, so let's see here. We're gonna do something like that. It's gonna become a little bit more hassle because now it's from this side, so I have to kind of realize how to do it from this side. Let's see, it shouldn't be too visible here, but still a little bit visible. Something like that. This depends on how much I want to flatten it and how much I want to push it up here. So you can see sometimes I do these kinds of hair just like shapes. Sometimes I have to follow the hair just to see where it goes. Sometimes you can start with a strand of hair and just see where does it take you. And sometimes you realize that, oh, my shape from the start was maybe too big, or you know, but it's usually around shape. I just do hair and kind of, you know, figure out what is the shape of the hair, because this is, like I said before, a sketch, just a sketch. So if you can use it to just, you know, practice and try to figure stuff out, it will help you immensely, because a sketch is just where you can practice, where you can find yourself, and where you can find where you what you are lacking and what you are missing in your artwork. And to me it has helped a lot, because sometimes even I forget that I can use the sketches as something to help me. And that's usually what happens. You know, if you don't have much art friends like I do, it can become that you're missing or forgetting stuff. Stuff that shouldn't be forgotten, stuff that should be like, hey, come on, this is like simple as shit. But sometimes you just have to remember that even the easiest things always needs to be practiced. It always needs to be rehearsed, because sometimes you will forget the most simplest things of all. And I'm gonna try and erase a little bit of the head shape here with a soft brush. And you can see the hair is turning out okay. Perhaps not the best, or maybe the closest to what was done in the earlier drawing. But once again, you have to kind of sometimes, you know, practice and do it once again and again, and just see, okay, maybe this is actually better. Maybe it is a ever-changing hair, because hair doesn't stay, even though movies have us made believe that hair actually does change and move around. So sometimes it isn't perfect, and sometimes it's messy, and you know, it's different from the other takes or scenes. So something like that. But I'm kind of okay with. Okay, that was the wrong. Let's see. There we go. Here we go. Just trying to remove some stuff. There we go. So you can see, we've done some good work here. We've done a couple of heads. which are characters that I'm trying out. Sometimes you have to... Nope, that's the wrong... There we go. Sometimes you have to try out stuff to find stuff. Like, I did this head today just on a whim. I actually just did it to warm up for this live stream. So you can see how sometimes just a doodle can become something that is like, oh, it's really good. And then you can try to use it and sometimes try to use the same methods as you used on the guy here to do a girl that actually turned really good. I'm definitely gonna, explore more of this character, trying to maybe create something more. But as you can see, there is always, the motto that you have to practice. You have to practice. You have to draw, 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 draw. I know it's kind of like I hear everybody say it, but it is actually true. You just have to look at what other people are doing, practice, try drawing it, try different things. Don't stop. Just draw, 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 draw. Okay? So, if you have any questions for me, ask them in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're here on the live stream, thank you for watching, but as I can see, there are not many people watching the live stream, so let me know, should I do these live or not? Should I actually do it at all? Are you interested in watching this and hearing me talk? If not, I'm not gonna do them. I'm gonna focus my energy on something else, okay? So let me know, what do you think? Should I keep doing these art hours or should they be changed? And what should I change them into, if so? On the other note, keep drawing, keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.